You're watching TelecomTV's exclusive video coverage of the MEF annual members meeting from Vancouver. And I'm joined now by Dan Blemmings, who is Director of Ethernet Product Management at AT&T. Dan, nice to meet you and good to talk to you.
Likewise, pleasure to be here.
I'd like to ask about the work that the MEF is doing, and what would you say are the main issues that the MEF and its members are looking to address at the moment?
The Ethernet landscape is complex at the moment. It's wide open and it's evolving. And the MEF is engaged on several key fronts to help the industry come together and have a cohesive and standardized way to perform Ethernet services on a global basis. There's multiple projects that we'll want to talk about that touch interconnection as well as certification.
One of those projects I believe you're responsible for, which is the Ethernet Interconnect Points program. Tell me more about that.
That's correct. So as you may know, AT&T has publicly addressed the market saying we're on a mission to turn down some of our legacy TDM network and move over to an all Ethernet and IP based infrastructure. And we've got many projects internally to help us get that done. One of the big pieces, though, to actually envision an all Ethernet and IP infrastructure is to be able to connect outside your footprint with other Ethernet carriers. And the Ethernet Interconnect Points project is an effort that AT&T is heavily involved with and leading in cooperation with the MEF and several key Ethernet operators to help us understand what we need to do to make our networks very compatible and be able to give customers a great experience as their data travels from one network and across another.
So a customer will want their, as you say, data to travel the same way across all networks. They don't care as long as it arrives as it should do.
Correct.
But oftentimes it's going to go across more than one network.
Right.
So with all those service providers and operators out there, how on earth do you ensure there's compatibility?
That's a great question. And the current mode of operation has us doing two things. One is there is a MEF standard out there called MEF 33, and it's an e-access capability. And some carriers are using that. And other carriers are doing a sort of build per basis model where they'll meet a company who isn't quite yet able to operate under the MEF specifications, so they'll just hammer out a bilateral agreement one-on-one, and that's very time-consuming. It's very inefficient, and it's not what customers want. They're looking for more standardization. So what EIP is doing is it's number one, promoting that carriers adopt the MEF e-access specification, and so that's one. But number two is it's also saying if you can't get there right now as a carrier, we're going to help you with an implementation guideline that shows you how you can take a step in that direction. So it's helping the industry get to a full MEF 33 e-access certification. It's going to expand Ethernet for all carriers who choose to adopt it.
What about the smaller network operators and service providers? Are they saying, well, why should we invest in this? This is going to cost us money. How do you ensure compatibility across all networks?
Right. Great question. And we've at AT&T done some analysis of our footprint, and just in the United States alone, there are over 625 different providers that border our network. 625 just in the U.S. So if you think about how do I extend my Ethernet services to those 625, it becomes quickly clear that we need standardization. It can't be a one-for-one. And the smaller folks who are out there, the other providers who may not have the cash flow to upgrade their network and make it fully compliant, will be very interested in adopting what the EIP program can offer, because it's a step towards the right e-access certification. It gets you to pass traffic. It allows you to interconnect and do business while you're moving and evolving your networks towards a full EIP and MEF 33 certification.
Fascinating. What about LSO, another MEF initiative? How does this all fit with the bigger picture?
Oh, great question. So LSO, or Lifecycle Service Orchestration, is MEF's vision to create a model that once carriers are all connected, there's a common model that we can now follow for all of the ordering, billing, cache, quote-to-cache capabilities that are needed to support an Ethernet service. So, think of it this way. If we're all connected technically, but we have different ways of ordering from each other, we're only semi-compatible. The technology flows, but the orders aren't flowing. So we need a way to have a common approach to how orders are placed, how the life cycle of that order is provisioned and maintained, and LSO is MEF's model to put all that in place.
Final question for you. When the industry gathers in Dallas at the end of the year for the Gen 15 event, what are going to be the main talking points? What are we going to be seeing, or what are we going to be discussing?
Gen 15 is going to be a great event. We're excited about it. We're pleased to be a host sponsor of Gen 15. And you're going to see things from AT&T that talk about the future of where our network is going. You're going to hear things about not only how Ethernet interconnect points is evolving and what specifications we're doing within the MEF, but you'll also hear about things like SDN and NFV and how that starts to change the landscape of Ethernet as well, and how our network is evolving not only away from TDM and over towards Ethernet, but also from a hardware-based network to a software-based network. So exciting stories coming in November.
Well, I look forward to discussing that more in November. For now, Dan, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.